Hey everybody, it's Cindy Matalucci, your host of The Pulse and Live with Cindy. Today's Friday, September 20th. We have such an amazing show. Before we talk about our show today, I want to thank our sponsors, Coffee Ambassador. They are fabulous. They've been in business over 50 years in San Diego. Coffee delivery service at its best, and they're keeping our guests and our crew caffeinated, which we need. So thank you guys so much. I also want to shout out to Rent the Runway for my fabulous dress today. Love them. This is called Great Jones, and I'm loving the pattern, so thank you so much to Rent the Runway. And then just a quick note, we are off next Friday, but we will be back on October 4th for the end of the year for all of our fabulous live shows with some amazing guests. So tune in on October 4th. Okay, you guys, I'm so excited. I have the best guest today. You know how passionate we are about our German Shepherds and our dragons, Romeo and Isabella. And so I've got Gabby Kidd and Miss Hattie from Coastal Canine German Shepherd Service. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having us.
Oh my God, we're so excited to have you guys. We adopted our dogs from your organization. Absolutely love them. We've had them for 7 years, like the light of our lives. I love everything that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
So before we kind of talk about the rescue and the organization, let's talk about you because you're pretty passionate about being a volunteer.
Oh yeah, totally. So I would say my involvement with Coastal was kind of a time and opportunity meeting. I've always had dogs. When I ran across Coastal, my husband and I had 3 dogs, and I literally ran across Coastal, or they crossed my path, and we were taking our dogs for a walk, and our neighbor had walked by us with this giant, beautiful German Shepherd, and I knew it was a different Shepherd for her, and so, of course, I had to ask because it was a dog, and especially because it was a Shepherd, and so I asked her, and she had been fostering one of the dogs at Coastal, and like once she told me about it, I just knew, I'm like, you know what, I need to get involved. Now is the time. And so I started dog walking, and over time I've been able to get involved with a few other aspects of the rescue, some adoption counseling and some event planning. And I've also been on a couple of the shelter runs, which is when we go to get new dogs into the rescue. So,
well, you have 4 dogs, right?
I have 4 dogs.
We love it. We have 2, so we love everything that you guys are doing. Okay, so let's talk about Coastal German Shepherd. You guys are a 501c3.
Yes.
Let's talk about what you do because you guys are dedicated to finding loving homes for abandoned shepherds. Tell us about the organization.
So we've been around since 2005, and like you said, our mission is to save as many shepherds as possible and find them loving homes. And so there's a lot that goes into that. What we do, and your guest later on had asked me a question earlier in the room, like, well, where all your dogs come from? So 99% probably come from shelters in Riverside and San Diego County. And as we have room to bring on shepherds, we go there and evaluate the dogs and then bring them home and get them in our system. We have a system of foster families, which is huge because a lot of the dogs, there's a big kind of black hole of information of their history, if they've been neglected or abused. So we're so thankful for our foster families because they help fill in the blanks of what the dog is like, what their temperament's like, and then it helps us to be able to place them in good homes. So we love our foster families. Our other dogs that aren't in foster are at our boarding facility, and we have a group of volunteers that come every day to make sure they get out on really long walks and have some playtime too. So there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, but out in front, you can see us at our adoption events or an event like next week.
And we're going to jump into that real quick because you know I love my stats. Your organization has saved over 2,100 dogs. Right now they have around 60 that need your help, you guys. So it's around that ballpark. You guys have 47 volunteers that work around the clock because you're all volunteer.
100%
right?
Volunteer, yes.
So I just wanted to mention that because you guys are doing so great. So you guys can find out this information on the website. But let's talk about Miss Hattie because Miss Hattie is up for adoption and she's so sweet.
And she's very comfortable today, obviously.
She's making her TV debut.
Yeah, you know, this is Hattie is wonderful. She's a 3-year-old, and we know she's had at least 1 litter of puppies because not only did we rescue her, but we rescued one of her sons, male dogs, 6-month-old. We named him Spencer, and he's just a big, goofy dog and just fun puppy, as you would imagine. He's in one of our foster homes, which is great to provide that stability, but they also have 2 other dogs, so he's learning from his little older dog mentors. So anyway, Hattie is one, she's obviously, everyone here can attest, she's very friendly, easy to walk on the leash. She has a decent amount of energy, so she loves to play.
She gave me a kiss like right away.
Yeah.
You never know with when they're with the rescue, like how
you don't
great
know.
they're going to be. Because with our dogs, it took us a little bit of time for them to warm up. But she gave me a kiss right away. She's so cute.
Well, of course, because she loves you.
I love that. So Miss Hattie, and then you have some other dogs too. We have Valentino.
Yeah, we thought we'd highlight a couple of the other dogs that we have at the rescue. Valentino is another 3-year-old. He's huge. And his name is Valentino because we rescued him right around Valentine's Day. His story got real interesting real fast. Within 2 days of us getting him, all of a sudden we had to rush him to the hospital to have emergency surgery on his intestines. He was taken from we rescued him from a really bad situation where he was neglected. We'll just say that. And he had some problems as a result of it in his intestines. So thankfully, one of our volunteers got him to the hospital on time, and so he made it. He had kind of a touch and go, but he's back to normal. He'll always be on a special diet, but he's a good dog, and he's really super cute.
They're all so cute.
Yeah.
And then Wick, we have Wick.
Okay, Wick is one of our younger dogs. He's about 1.5 years. He's a mix. If you know anything about Belgian Malinois, you can see a little bit of the Belgian Malinois in there. So, I mean, we don't know 100%, but, we can kind of eyeball what he might be. So Wick is really playful. He knows his basic commands, and I like to describe him as if you dropped your kids off at the grandparents for a week and then all the rules went away, he just needs a little guidance to remind him you can't jump on the couch or whatever. But he's a very sweet dog. He likes playing. He loves other dogs too, so that's good.
I love it. And we have Frazier.
Frazier, he is about 4 years old, and his ear is so darn cute. He's actually on the lower energy side, but he's just one of those sweet souls and just a really friendly dog.
Love it. And then we have Sierra.
Now, Sierra is just close to so many of us at the rescue because she was abused. She's only 7 months old, and so we were able to get her out of that situation that she was in or rescue her. It took her, a good solid week to kind of trust us. But luckily we were able to place her in a foster home as well, and she's been thriving. So we're so glad at how she's blossoming in that environment. And so she's beautiful.
They're so cute. And then Mojo.
Mojo, yeah.
I love the name.
You can imagine he's got a lot of mojo. Mojo is a great 3-year-old. Also, he's a sable shepherd, and he loves to play. And he would do really good in an environment where the family's super active and can bring him to, hiking, running, or whatever they're doing, or even if with another dog in the household, because he loves to play. So he's a good boy, very friendly too.
Well, and you guys, it's always good to adopt. I mean, there's so many dogs that are available for adoption. It's just like kids. I mean, there's a lot of kids that are out there for adoption. It's the same thing. So, take your time, think about it. You can go to the website. What I love about you guys is you guys always spotlight or feature a dog of the month on the website, which is great. But all the information is on there. And then I want to talk real quick about the process of adoption before we get into the run.
Yeah.
I know the prices range from $300 to $500, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
Roughly, yeah. So the process, just to really kind of bullet point it, we always like people to go to our website because all our dogs are on there, and you can kind of see who's available to be adopted. But then we ask you to fill out an adoption application, and at that point, an adoption counselor will contact the family and kind of get an idea what is your life all about? What are you looking for? And so that we can find maybe a good fit for that family, and then we start to introduce them to some dogs. If they already have a dog, that's a huge part of the process.
Well, we were talking about this earlier. It's like matchmaking, and when we got our dogs from you guys, you guys are so great about the process. They come to the house, they make sure it's a good fit. There's a fence, there's a yacht. I mean, it's just a really great, I feel like a good process that you guys do.
Yeah, and we're totally committed to the dogs. There's situations in life that change for our families, and we always want them to come back to us because we want to find them a home again. So, so we're totally committed to the dogs. But other than that, we do have adoption events a couple times a month. You can always find that on our website or our Instagram page or Facebook page. And then we have special events.
Like the one we're going to talk about now. Let's talk about your Homeward Bound. I'm so excited. September 29th. Tell us about it.
Okay, next week and next Sunday. This is our 6th annual. It is so fun. It's like a dog fest, like I had mentioned earlier. It's a 5K, it's a walk or a run, and if you're not even into running or walking, we have a real short course, or you can just come. So it's really a fun morning. It's at the San Diego County Park, which if any of you have been there, it's totally beautiful.
And that's Del Mar, right?
Del Mar, Solana Beach-ish area. We start the race at 9, so you'd want to get there early. But first, you want to register so that we can expect you. And if you don't want to run, we'll always take donations. So there's an opportunity on the race webpage to donate and to help dogs like Hattie and some of the other dogs that we have, of course. But it's a really fun event. It's full of dogs. We'll have contests and
raffle, family fun,
yes.
right?
Yep.
And then proceeds are benefiting medical care, boarding, medications, which is really important.
Yeah, and just real quick, our theme. We have a theme every year. This year it's September
I love that.
to remember, and especially I've gone on some of these shelter runs. It's so hard to leave. You can only take so many, but it's hard to leave the ones behind. So we have those dogs in mind as we're, getting ready for the race and getting people and, encouraging people to help us so that we can go back and get those dogs.
Well, you guys sign up. You can get everything at coastalgsrsd.org. That's where all the information is. We have everything on the website. We're just so happy to have you. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you so much. We've really enjoyed it.
And Miss Hattie is ready for her debut. She's a TV dog. She's perfect, you guys. Adopt her. She's so sweet. If you guys have any questions for us, hit us up and we'll put you in touch with Gabby and the organization as well. And then we're going to take a quick break. We're going to show you the red carpet with Jason O'Mara for Batman Hutch. We were at the premiere. We're going to show you that. And when we come back, we have Sisu Academy. Thanks, Gabby.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys in a minute. I'm Cindy with the Pulse.
I'm Jason O'Mara, and I'm Batman.
Oh my God, I love that. That's awesome. So, you've been involved in this for a lot of years now. How does it feel reprising your role?
It's always an honor and a privilege every time I get to put on my metaphorical cowl. It's not a real cowl, obviously. It's just me and a microphone. But this is my 10th outing now as Batman. So I feel like I've earned this one. To come to San Diego Comic-Con with like a standalone Batman movie, and for it to be Hush of all stories is it's amazing. It's just this iconic, classic Batman story, and I was a big fan of the graphic novel already long before this, and I was hoping and praying that A, they would do Hutch, and B, they would include me, and I had no idea. I thought they would do it with one of the other universes, but they chose this one, and so it's a real thrill, honestly.
And the relationship with Catwoman, steamy.
Yeah, it's really steamy. I was really surprised. I actually got a little bit, like my pants got a little bit tight when I was watching it. They're just cartoons.
Yeah.
But Jennifer Morrison is so good, and there's such chemistry between her and Batman in this. And there's like a beautiful musical score, and the animation's so beautiful. Like, you get swept away in the love story, and that is so unexpected for me.
Batman has feelings. Like, who knew?
Well, yeah. This particular Batman has lots of feelings. This Batman's a father, so this Batman is far more emotionally charged than most others.
Okay.
And as a result, I feel like the line between Bruce and Batman has been blurred. And I think it's really an exploration into him as a human, regardless of whether he's got the cowl on or not. And how he feels and how he reacts, and what he's got to do when his back's against the wall to save his own life and the life of his friends.
Well, and what do you want people to take away from this movie, would you say?
Oh gosh, I just want them to be entertained, and honestly, I think it's the biggest, baddest Batman title in years, animated or live action. I think it's entirely entertaining, and I hope they'll be moved as well. I think anyone who's followed Batman, whether it's this version or another, for this long, deserves this, And so I feel like this one's for the fan. Like, some comic book purists might not like some of the departures. We have to accept that this is a different medium. We have to accept that 15 years have passed or more, and we have to accept that this is part of a continuity of Batman that who's a father, for example, to Damien. So, yeah, I think we took some poetic license, but I think it was justified, and I still think it plays gangbusters.
Ooh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
You're welcome anytime.
We'll see you guys. Bye. Thanks. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pulse and Live with Cindy. I'm your host, Cindy Mattalucci. It's all about the nonprofit and volunteers and helping organizations today. I love it. It's a great Friday show. I am joined by my next guest. I have Jabez LeBret, Chief of Schools at CSU Academy. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us.
We're so excited to have you today. I'm so interested for you to kind of talk about the organization. But before we talk about the organization, I want to talk about your story because you have quite a story. You were homeless at one point.
I was, yeah, in high school when I was 16. It was the weekend before Thanksgiving, and my mom just disappeared. She's mentally ill, so it wasn't uncommon to have some ups and downs. But luckily, I had some friends' parents who let me couch surf for my junior and senior year of high school, but I still ended up not graduating from high school. But it could have been way worse. I mean, the support that I got made a big impact.
But you really, I mean, you went on to become a financial analyst, managing a multi-million P&L at Nordstrom.
Ooh, sounds
so
fancy.
You've had so much success. I mean, I'd love to hear that story. But I mean, really, it's ingrained with you, with your history and what has happened for you to be involved in this organization.
Yeah, when you look at what my wife and I are doing with this project, it is to help the students who life's happening in the background. Mm-hmm. And they just, for better or for worse, they're really struggling to make it. And they just need a stable place to be, to build a community and a family and people who care about them, and to say like, hey, you got this, and to believe in them and give them some choice, and then watch these young women just take off. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, tell everybody, for the viewers that don't know, tell us about the CSU Academy.
So we are a tuition-free all-girls boarding high school. And so we're a totally innovative high school. We're free so that the students don't have to pay, because most of the families wouldn't be able to afford to be able to send their student to our school if they had to. So we're really that place for the student that is struggling but may not have an opportunity to go anywhere else. And so we're building that community in that place here in San Diego for San Diego students.
Okay.
And so we're a school just for San Diego girls who have more need.
Well, and I was going to ask, why girls? I love that.
Yeah, the female population in San Diego, there's a higher need for the teens that are between the ages of 16 and 24 that are disconnected youth. Mm-hmm. And so there's about 37,000 of them in our county that are not going to school and not at work. And so 54% of them are females. And so we said, hey, let's tackle that problem first.
I love that. And then you guys are not a charter school. So talk to us about how the tuition is paid.
Well,
so
right now we're donor-based.
Okay.
So we are a 501c3, so we do take donations from individuals, corporations, foundations, all of the above. We do have an earned revenue model.
Okay.
We believe that a nonprofit doesn't mean that you can't make money, just the money doesn't come home. It just stays in the organization.
Okay.
And so we have a whole huge set of programs that help us earn revenue so that we don't have to be reliant on donor funds forever.
I love that. Well, and let's talk about your boarding school, because it houses 350 students, right?
We will be.
We will be.
This is our first year. So we're
Okay.
starting with a freshman class, and then we're adding a new class every year.
Okay.
Starting with all 4 grades at once would have been insane.
So
this is our first year of boarding.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it 9 to 12 right now?
Right now it's just 9th graders.
It's just 9, but eventually the model will be for 9 to 12.
Yep, we'll just add a new 9th grade class every year.
Okay, and then is it built on the STEAM model? Will it be built on that model?
Yeah, we're an open-walled education environment, which
Okay.
means classrooms aren't really a part of our thing. We have classrooms, but that we don't have to sit there and get lectured at for an hour.
Okay.
A lot of project-based work like High Tech High, design thinking like Design 39, out in Poway. Our students we have them 7 days a week.
Okay.
So imagine how much learning we can do. So yeah, there's STEAM, right? There's all the science and technology and
Yeah.
all those great things, but there's also financial literacy and cooking classes and meditation and mindfulness and public speaking
I
and
love
networking.
that you're doing
and,
that so young.
philosophy, like teaching them how to be game changers, like giving them an opportunity to equip themselves to go out and make a bigger impact in the world.
And where do the students come from, would you say? Is it all over San Diego?
It is. I mean, our
Okay.
students tend to lean towards maybe a little bit more of the impoverished neighborhoods, maybe
Okay.
some of the areas where they haven't had an opportunity. A lot of our girls had never been to the beach,
Oh, gosh.
and they're from here.
Wow.
And that just really, I think, shows some of the disparity. It's not a requirement that you're lower income, but most of our students, a parent's in jail, mom or dad or both, parents got deported, live with a guardian, could in and out of foster. These girls have been through a lot. And our name, Sisu Academy, is Finnish.
Ooh,
Sisu is Finnish, and it stands for grit, determination, perseverance, and hardiness.
Okay.
Which, interestingly, our girls may not know that they have that, but if they've survived long enough to get to our school, they've got something inside them that's spectacular, and they just need a place to channel
flourish,
that.
right?
Yeah, and an opportunity to just grow into the amazing women that they already are and are going to become just absolute incredible human beings.
Well, and tell us, what would a day in the life of a student be like?
Well, you wake up, go to breakfast with everybody. Boarding, there's a lot of components to boarding, right? So you're like, oh my gosh, we're responsible for all of the things.
Yeah.
There's journaling time in the morning. There's different projects they'll be working on with some other students. They might be tutoring. There might be online learning. There might be, every student gets a personalized program specifically to their needs.
Oh, wow.
So that if they're deficient somewhere, we can catch them up.
Okay.
If they're really good in something and they want to run with it, we can give them the runway to go, and we can equip them to be able to grab that knowledge and go without holding them back. And so it really gives us a chance to, I think, create a much broader, more comprehensive, personalized approach to the education for the student.
Well, and how do they find out how to get involved with you? I mean, where do they go for that process?
Yeah, all of them are referral.
Okay.
So some of them do find us on the website, but it definitely is a lot of referrals from counselors at schools, principals at other schools, parents, churches, San Diego Police Department, the juvenile court system calls us. Those are, all of those organizations are involved in sending us families that have potential students that might be a good fit for our school.
And then accrediting, are you going to do an accredited process? Are you seeking that?
We are going to seek accreditation, but what's interesting is I think that we're a little off base with worrying about what, yes, we're going to get accredited. Yes, our students should go on to college if they want to go.
Right.
College may not be the right answer for every student.
Exactly.
Maybe they go to an apprentice program. Maybe they go into a coding boot camp and they become a JavaScript coder. I mean, we shouldn't be dictating so closely where they're going to go. We should let them have a little bit of say in that process along the way and give them the opportunity to flourish,
right?
And some of the autonomy to say, hey, what's the right next step for you? And so we need to stop thinking about, are you taking the history, the science, the English, the math? Those are important, but start thinking about, are you a critical problem solver? Are you a good steward of the world? Do you understand data and statistics? What kind of human beings do we want coming out of this education program?
Right.
And it's not someone who's good at taking a test.
Yes.
It's not someone who's sat in a seat for X number of hours over 4 years. How we got into this mess that we're in right now is unbelievable. And for these students, it does not work. These are the students that have to have a program that is designed to fit them with their needs and where they're at. And the traditional system, for better or for worse, just isn't the right place for them right now.
Okay, good. I agree with you on that. So my question would be, where do you see the organization going? What are your goals?
So we're going to expand. All boys school is going to be launching in 3 years.
Wow.
We need a brother school for our sister school, right? So we have our CC sisters, and then we'll have an all boys school.
Okay.
And then we're going to open up some day schools. We'll probably expand up into Orange County and Riverside and start working our way up the coast. And so we're definitely have some pretty audacious goals on how far we're going to expand this program. And we're targeting a lot of different kinds of campuses because not everybody needs boarding.
Okay.
But for the population that we're serving right now, boarding is very important. And so we'll be doing a blend of all of those programs.
Well, and what do you need right now, and how can people get involved?
We need a few things.
Okay.
We love volunteers. So if you want to come and not just pack a bag or something volunteer. I mean, come bring your brain and bring your expertise or bring whatever your passion is and come meet with our girls. If you are a female, a successful female, come talk to our girls and show them what can be possible. Some of them don't even believe that they're worth getting a job. They just have been put down so much. They need to see themselves in someone else, and they need to see that success. Obviously, donations are super important. It is not cheap to run a boarding school.
Right.
They need food, they need housing, they need clothes. Some of our students don't have enough clothes to wear, and so we do need support financially as well. Even though we have an earned revenue model, it's going to take time for that to really ramp up. And so right now, we're just leaning in on the community and saying, hey, this is a San Diego school for San Diego kids that have need, that are going to stay here and hopefully have a massive impact on our community in all the right ways.
And people can make a difference in our community, which is so great.
And the families.
Yes.
It helps the family too. It gives the families, single mother an opportunity to go back and maybe retool some skills and to maybe get another job. And we had one mom I was talking to this morning, her daughter's not going to school, and she says, I don't have time to sit down and talk to her about it because she works 2 jobs, and she has 5 kids. And her daughter just stopped going to school, and she said, well, I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, have you asked her what's going on? And she said, I don't have time to talk to her. We need to help that family, not just the student.
I love that. Well, and everyone can find everything about you at ccuacademy.org, correct?
Yep, that is it.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I love everything that you're
thank
doing.
you.
You guys get involved, reach out. We'll have the information on the website as well. We have all the links. We'll put you in touch with the organization. And I just want to say congratulations on all the accolades that you've gotten as well, because you've gotten some great press, too.
That's very kind. It takes a whole team, and my wife Becky's co-founder, and she's been absolutely a phenomenal part of the program and instrumental in getting us to where we are today. We would not be there without her and our teachers and our principals and everybody else. They really does take a whole team.
Well, and she was going to join us, but she's traveling today. So hopefully next time you come back, you can bring her too.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Being here and telling us about your organization. We love it. You guys get involved. That's going to do it for today's episode. You guys, we're going to see you on October 4th when we're back. But we'll see you next time when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego. Bye, guys. Happy Friday. Thank you.
Bye. Have a good weekend.